Hey, what's up you guys? Cory here with Remax, and just got finished putting that sold sign up out front, and that is definitely my favorite sign to put up. Close second is a for sale sign, and this year I've helped a lot of people buy and sell their houses, but recently I had somebody come up to me and say, you know what, real estate is a dying industry. Realtors, eventually, they're not going to be needed. And it's something that's actually been said to me quite a few times. When I decided to get into the industry about 9-10 years ago, I think I was taking the courses, I actually had a family member basically tell me I was crazy for getting into the real estate industry because it is a dying industry, that eventually realtors are not going to be needed and it's super difficult to even get into. And while I agree with that part, that it is difficult to get into and stick with and actually be successful with, I don't think it's a dying industry. But it's something I wanted to talk about with you, because recently what we've had come out at the end of summer, there was actually a trial between TREB and the Competition Bureau of Canada. And this is a court kind of battle that's been going on for quite a while. If you don't know what TREB is, it's a Toronto Real Estate Board. It's the largest real estate board in all of Canada. And what they were fighting over is whether people should have access to sales data, meaning what homes have sold for in the past. And TREB was arguing that it shouldn't and it should be protected. They were kind of saying it under the guise of privacy, and the Competition Bureau and the Supreme Court ultimately decided that no, this is data that should be published and should be free for everybody to see. So now, eventually, we're going to have websites that are aggregating this data out to everybody, and they'll put it all together for everybody to see. And somebody kind of made comment that, hey, is this just one step closer to getting rid of realtors? You know, in the past, real estate agents were gatekeepers of all the information, all the new listings that were on the market, what the price of the home was, how many bedrooms it had, what it sold for in the past. And now we are, with the advent of the internet, technology, more and more of that information is easily accessible, all from a smartphone, which I personally think is awesome. But how is it going to change the real estate industry? Here's what I think is going to happen. It's going to force more realtors like myself to just do a better job if they're not doing it already. I think, as the saying goes, the cream will rise. There's lots of realtors that relied on the fact that the data was theirs and they controlled who got to see it, and that's how they got in touch with people. That is gone now. Now you're going to have a more educated consumer than ever before. So with the rollout, or the decision that was made by the Supreme Court to relinquish this data, what we have now are websites like realtor.ca, MLS.ca have already come out and said that we are now going to publish the sales history of each property that is listed on the market. So when a property gets listed, you'll be able to see all that data there. Hey, this is what these owners bought it for, and that's what the owners before them bought it for. Now, this is a website that is bought and basically paid for and supported, created by realtors like me. This is part of the fees that I pay. It's the biggest real estate website in Canada currently, and I think it's great. I think it's great that the consumer will be able to see what the past sales have been of that particular home. But does it really affect me that much? I don't think so. I think it's great. I think that people will have a better understanding of the market, hopefully. It means that perhaps I won't have to educate people quite as much, but at the same time, just because you have the data in front of you doesn't necessarily mean that you always understand it. Even as a homeowner, if you can go and look through the neighborhood and see what things have sold for, that would be an ideal scenario for a homeowner. You might be able to say, well, then you don't need a realtor. You know what the home is sold for. And right now, I am sitting in a model home of a builder that I represent out here in Strathroy. Wonderful builder, love working for them. But you might think, why does he hire me? I mean, he probably sold the same house 2 lots over for a certain price. He knows what this house is going to sell for. What does he need me for? Just put a sign in the lawn and get it sold. Believe me, some people think that way. But this builder in particular knows that there's more to selling a house than just having the data and knowing what the price is. You have to understand what's happening in the market, and as a realtor, any good realtor is out there every single day in the market, seeing what's going on, seeing what buyers are saying, sellers are saying, seeing what houses are selling for, and just generally judging kind of the temperature of the market. Are things in favor of the seller, the buyer? Are things shifting? And that's just a piece of the pie. That doesn't cover things like marketing, getting it exposed properly, all the photos and video that go into it, working with buyers, explaining the value of the property to a prospective buyer. That's all part of it. Now, a homeowner may think that they can do that. There's lots of options out there for them if they don't want to work with a realtor. There's never been more options than there is right now. But do I think that it's going to get rid of realtors altogether? Hopefully what will happen is it will shrink our industry down to the true great professionals that can use all that data that is free to the public, and they're actual experts, not only at understanding the data and what's happening in the market, but also things like marketing, working with buyers, helping the sellers understand all of those things, and how together it creates this kind of synthesis of being able to get the best sales price possible for you, the homeowner. So I would love to hear your thoughts on where you think the real estate industry is heading. Are realtors eventually going to be extinct? Is it a bit of a dying industry? What do you think might be the results of more data being available to you, the consumer, the homeowner, the seller, the buyer, all those kinds of things? I would love to hear your comments down in the comment section below. I love interacting with you, and I would love for you to hit like on this video as well. Share it if you feel so inclined. But I hope that this video has kind of got the wheels turning a little bit. It's kind of my 2 cents on what's going on out there. Other than that, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and hopefully we'll get to chat soon.